Environmental management. It pertains to the management of all components of the biophysical environment, both living and non-living. Management of environment also deals with the management of interaction by the modern societies with an impact upon the environment. The environment is of social importance to the life of human and other living creatures. It comprises closely interrelated natural and man-made material factors that surround human beings and affect life, production, the existence, and development of man and nature. Our environment. The earth is full of natural resources that we use every day. However, our responsibility for the environment is oftentimes taken for granted. If we take good care of our environment, it will be beautiful, happy, and wonderful place to live in. We have sufficient plants and trees, seas and water in the Philippines which are the sources of our medicine. We have to be extra careful in taking good care of these natural resources. Let us all treasure them and take advantage of it. If we cut down trees, there will be no more places for wild animals to live and hide. If we don't know how to dispose our garbage properly, our environment will be polluted. The exploitation of our land and water is the root of many of our economic and political problems, and a more deep-seated crisis than political instability, economic decline, and a growth in armed conflict. Therefore, green revolution is the answer of these problems. Let us make our environment clean and green.
Definition of terms. Waste are substances discharged from daily life, products on processes or other activities. Pollutants. These are factors that render the environment unconscious. Environmental pollution. These are alterations of the properties of the environment, violating environmental standards and policies. Environmental degradation. It means qualitative and quantitative alteration of the components of the environment, adversely affecting man's life and nature. Ecosystem. It means a system of groups of living organisms existing and developing together in a given environment, interacting with one another. Biodiversity. It means abundance in gene pools, species and varieties of living organisms and ecosystems in nature. Environmental impact assessment. It means the process of analyzing, evaluating, and forecasting the effect on the environment by socio-economic development, projects and plans, scientific, technical, medical, cultural, social, securities defense, or other facilities and proposing appropriate solutions to protect the environment.
What is pollution? It is the introduction of harmful materials into the environment, and these harmful materials are called pollutants. It can be natural, such as volcanic ash. They can also be created by human activities, such as trash or runoff produced by factories. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water, and land, which threatens the health of human, animal, and plant life. It often results from pollutants like carbon monoxide, but can also arise from street lights or the noise from traffic. Pollution sources are split into point sources and non-point sources. When you say point source, it is a single large emitter into the environment. Usually this means a source can be traced back like the smokestack of a coal-fired power plant or the drain pipe of a factory. However, non-point sources are hard or even impossible to trace back because their pollutants are dispersed. There are four types of pollution: soil pollution, water pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution. In soil pollution, it refers to anything that causes contamination of soil and degrades the soil quality. It occurs when the pollutants causing the pollution reduce the quality of the soil and convert the soil inhabitable for microorganisms and macroorganisms living in the soil. It can be natural or due to human activity. However, it mostly boils down to the human of the activities that causes the majority of soil pollution, such as heavy industries or pesticides in agriculture. In water pollution, it vary and may be both natural and anthropogenic. However, the most common causes of water pollution are the anthropogenic ones. It occurs when the harmful substances, often chemicals or microorganisms, contaminate a stream, river, lake, ocean, aquifer, or other body water, degrading water quality and rendering it toxic to humans or the environment. In air pollution, it is a mixture of a solid, particles and gases in the air, car emission, chemicals from factories, dust, pollen and mold spores may be suspended as particles. Ozone, a gas, is a major part of the air pollution in cities. When ozone forms in air pollution, it is also called smog. In noise pollution, it is an invincible danger. It cannot be seen, but it is present nonetheless, both on land and under the sea. Noise pollution is considered to be any unwanted or disturbing sound that affects the health and well-being of humans and other organisms.
What is the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000? Otherwise known as Republic Act 9003, considers waste as a resource that can be recovered, emphasizing recycling items that are useless or of little may mean great value to someone, reuse items that is still useful instead of just throwing them away, and composting as methods to minimize and eventually manage the waste program. This act aims for the reduction of solid waste through source reduction and waste minimization measures including recycling, reuse, recovery, composting, and others before collection, treatment, and disposal in appropriate and environmentally sound solid waste management facilities in accordance with ecologically sustainable development principles. It also sets to ensure the protection of public health and the environment and the proper segregation, collection, transport, storage, treatment, and disposal of solid waste through the formulation and adoption of the best environmental practice in ecological waste management, excluding incineration. Further, this act gives a strong emphasis on the role of municipal and local government units. It empowers the LGUs to create solid waste management communities even in the barangay level. This requires the participation of non-government offices, people's organizations, church leaders, educators, and other business and community associations.
Environmental protection. Environmental protection should be everybody's concern. This is the common cause of the entire population. All organizations and individuals shall have the responsibility to protect the environment. Environmental protections are the activities undertaken to preserve a healthy, clean, and beautiful environment, improving the environment, ensuring ecological balance, preventing and overcoming adverse impacts of man and nature, and making a rational and economical exploitation and utilization of natural resources. All these pollutions can be minimized through preventive measures. It is very essential to lessen the degradation of our environment. It is an approach to improving environmental performance that favors preventive measures, for example, eliminating the use of toxic chemicals. So there are activities that should be strictly prohibited. Number 1, discharging or emitting of smoke, noxious gas, dust, bad odors which cause harm to the atmosphere. And number 2, discharging of grease or oil, toxic chemicals, radioactive substances exceeding permissible limits, waste, dead animals or plants, harmful and ineffective bacteria and viruses into water source. And number 3, burning or kaingin and destruction of forests, uncontrollable damage and destroying ecological balance. And number 4, exploitation, trading in precious or rare species of plants and animals identified as prohibited by the government, and lastly, burial, discharge of toxic substances exceeding permissible limits into the soil. So, it is critical to protect the environment so as to reduce the destruction of ecosystems caused by a myriad of anthropogenic activities.
Remedies of environmental degradation, pollution, and environmental incidents. Number 1. The organization shall be held liable for damages for engaging in production, business, and other activities that cause environmental degradation, environmental pollution, and incidents if they don't implement remedial measures as specified by law. Number 2. Take immediate measures to control and remedy consequences if the individual has radioactivity, electromagnetic radiation, ionizing radiation exceeding permissible limits, and to immediately report to the agency concerned. Number 3. The remedy for environmental incidents should include elimination of causes of the incident, rescue of people and property, assisting in stabilizing the life of the people, repairing damaged facilities, restoring production, sanitizing the environment, preventing and combating epidemics, investigating, collecting statistics on damages, monitoring changes to environment, rehabilitating the environment of the affected area. Number 4. Immediately inform the agency concerned if you detect signs of environmental incidents. As an NSTP student, if you are around the site of the environmental incident, you must take appropriate measures to remedy the situation and immediately report to the authorities.
Environmental development, the prevalence in many of our current environment changes. Environment plays a significant role to support life on Earth. There are issues that are causing damages to life and ecosystem of the Earth, such as air pollution, water pollution, and soil erosion. As we build, we replace our natural landscape, forests, wetlands, and grasslands with streets, parking lots, rooftops, and other impervious surfaces. It is constantly degrading the quality of the environment, which ultimately result in the loss of survival condition from the earth. As development moves farther and farther, we lose many of the natural landscape features we value and lose the function that these features provide. The community should pursue open space protection and development objectives through the clustering of development activity away from sensitive natural areas. As what Pope Benedict said, preservation of the environment, promotion of sustainable development, and particular attention to climate change are matters of grave concern for the entire family.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Carl Villalobos here to report to you about types of waste under Republic Act 9003. What is Republic Act 9003? The Republic Act 9003, otherwise known as Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, provides the necessary policy framework, institutional mechanisms, and mandate to the local government units. Its prime purpose is to achieve 25% waste reduction through establishing an integrated solid waste management plans based on the three R's: the reduce, reuse, and recycling. Types of waste. The first type of waste is solid waste. All discarded household, commercial waste, non-hazardous institutional and industrial waste, street sweepings, construction debris, agricultural waste, and other non-hazardous or non-toxic solid waste. Mm. Second type of waste is the special waste. These are household hazardous wastes such as paints, thinners, household batteries, lead acid batteries, spray canisters, and the like. These include waste from residential and commercial sources that comprise of bulky waste, consumer electronics, white goods, yard waste that are collected separately, oil, and tires. These wastes are usually handled separately from the other residential and commercial waste. Third is the hazardous waste. These are solid, liquid, contain gaseous, or semi-solid waste which may cause or contribute to the increase in mortality or in serious or incapacitating reversible illness or acute or chronic effect on the health of people and other organisms. And last but not the least, the infectious waste. So the infectious waste are mostly generated by hospitals. And that's all for today. Thank you.